This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
All right, Diana Ross, that was with I'm Coming Out. It's 9:07, and we're out every morning batting for you on Good Morning Delhi. Joining me on the show this morning to talk about energy, and we do have a lot of requirements in that department. I've got Niraj Sharan of Aura Incorporated, and he's the founder, chairman, and CEO of the company since 1989, a leading global enterprise catering to global energy sector through engineering, manufacturing, and system integration. You've also had a spell with the government. Niraj, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Chris. Good morning to you and to all your listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Is this, are you generally up to get any of the solar energy, which is, I hear, superb and fantastic in the early morning hours?
Except for the last couple of days, yes. You know how it is. The first few days of this year, it's been foggy, cold.
Winter, yeah, I know. Which is why I think we're doing an activity called Get Some Sun right here at Radio 1, where we're trying to get people to come out and chase the sun, because when winter, God alone knows, all you want to do is dive underground.
Absolutely. And
under your covers, under your blankets.
And that's the reason I tell people and all my friends, do not take or make promises at this time when the weather is foggy, gloomy, because everything is going to be very sunny and nice after a couple of days.
Right, okay. So, Niraj, I guess we better get back into, what it is that Aura Incorporated, the company was started in 1989. What is it about, and what is it that you'll do?
Thanks, Chris. First of all, I would say that we're all work in progress. Mm-hmm. So is Aura.
Sure.
At this point, we're doing a certain amount of things, and I'm sure as we go along, we'll add more products and services. Mm-hmm. We're a global company that is involved in manufacturing and doing technology consulting for the oil and gas, power, and now the renewable energy sector.
Okay.
So we manufacture temperature sensors and flow valves and flow systems, wireless sensors for pipeline, and we just set up a new solar renewable manufacturing company a couple of years ago. That is solar home lighting systems, solar power packs, mostly for rural India.
You talk about India being a country with so much of sun, right?
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's talking about solar energy. People are talking about renewables. Is that just a buzzword, or is there truth to that?
You know, Chris, if I can say this, we're living in the 21st century right now. And if I could say that the 19th century was the century for coal and fossil fuel.
Sure.
I think
still is, isn't it?
Still
for
is.
The largest part.
But that was the main source of energy.
Yeah.
In the 20th century, we saw a lot of nuclear that came on board. And I think the 21st century belongs to the renewable energy. This is my firm conviction that, of course, this is not a and or, either or. All of them have to coexist. But we're going to add a lot of renewable energy into our basket of sources.
Okay. We're going to come back and talk with Niraj Sharan of Aura Inc. and find out just how much of the sun, how much can it play a part in our renewable energy source or percentage of energy requirements. Stick around, we'll find out more from him. Meanwhile, there's more music on the other side. I've got John Farnham, one of my favorites from the 80s, with You're the Voice.
Your station is awesome.
Like what we do? Visit the Radio 1 Delhi Facebook page to be a part of it.
Radio 1.
This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
Every time I need a pick-me-up, this is the song I go to. John Farnham with You're the Voice. It's 9:20. Welcome back to the show. We're talking about power. We're talking about India's energy requirements. To make sense of some of that, with me is Niraj Sharan of Aura Incorporated, and he did start the company in 1989. They're involved in all aspects of energy through engineering, manufacturing, system integration. And he's very excited about renewables in India, about solar energy. Despite there being so much of promise and potential, you've got different sources of energy, right? We do depend largely on coal, fossil fuels, but you've got hydro, you've got, nuclear, you've got your solar. Why is India still laboring under so much of a power crunch? And the capital, Delhi, I simply cannot understand it.
it's ironic, Chris. Yeah, you said the right thing here. If you look at the per capita consumption of electricity, we do something like 700 units, units in a year, the per capita in India. And I'll draw an example in comparison. Look to China. While we are at about 750, they're at about 3,250.
Whoa.
And just to bring and drive home the point with a little dramatics here, the United States is about 13,000 units a year.
Oh my, now that's just killing me.
So this is the irony that we are one of the lowest per capita consumer of electricity, and yet we have such a big shortage of electricity.
What's the shortfall? If you're doing 750 per, what's the shortfall?
So I think, like everything in life, as progress brings affluence,
Sure.
requirement of energy goes up, as is the food and protein. So my sense is if we are doing average of 750 today, a couple of years down the road, we need to be doing 1,200 and 1,500 and eventually go to 2,000 and 3,000 units in the next 10, 15 years. So you can imagine what our consumption per capita is going to go up in the next 15 years.
So here you have a situation where there's already a shortfall. You can tell from all the, power shortages that keep happening. And there's also on the other side, there's this gross negligence, this wastage, this sheer, misconduct when it comes to transmission of energy. What's happening there? How much are we losing if you look at it on 100, like a percentage?
Chris, it's funny. If you look at the numbers, it's very scary. And you also begin to feel a sense of injustice. That what the hell is going on? Overall, between the various losses that we talk about, one is at the time of generating. We have efficiencies in the system.
Sure.
So we only convert 36% of coal into electricity.
Right. Clean coal and all the different qualities
so
of coal.
From 100 it drops to 36, but that's inherent to technology. That's not really where the major problem is.
Sure.
The problem starts after you go and now you have transmission losses.
Right.
You have generation losses. And then the third largest category within inverted comma is what we call, it is actually theft in some ways, but we put it under various other losses. If you combine all of this and you're looking at 35-36% of losses,
that's like criminal.
I think it's very, very
it's
wrong.
A criminal waste. I'm just thinking, if an individual had just that much money and his requirements were so many, why would he go and indulge and waste? That's exactly what we're thinking about. Okay, we're going to come back, talk some more with Niraj Sharan of Aura Inc. We're talking about India's energy requirements, and it's plenty from what you can tell. We're going to find out what is the future and how we can nip this problem that we have of wastage in the bud. We'll talk about it.
New Delhi. The city with a green cover of almost 20% and the city with the least carpoolers. The city with the widest roads and the city with the highest cases of road rage. The city where a pizza reaches you in 30 minutes and an ambulance in over an hour. The city where the metros run at its best, but the public does not. New Delhi has all the makings of a global city. But do you think you do your bit to act like a global citizen? Presenting Radio 1 Delhi at its best. An initiative to build a community of Delhiites who stand for the change in the city and to shine light on all the great things the city has to offer. Tune in to Radio 1 to raise your Delhi quotient and to set out on the journey to become a global citizen.
Radio 1.
This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
All right, that was Flo Rida, Georgia Line, Nelly with a song called Cruise. And speaking of cruise, we're cruising right here on Good Morning Delhi, and we're cruising down this conversation of India's energy requirements. To make more sense of it, I've got Niraj Sharan of Aura Inc. He founded, and of course he also he's the chairman and CEO of the company since '89. We're talking about a while back you heard us talking about the fact that we have a shortfall of energy, and what's even more alarming is that 36% of our energy actually just gets wasted at different in different ways, at different levels. Sometimes on the generation front, on the transmission, and what is termed as miscellaneous, whatever. What should we be doing? You said generation, it's a little hard because that's a technical aspect, but transmission?
Yeah, so Chris, on the generation part, every effort is being made to make it more efficient, and it's getting better and better. On the one loss that we can first take care of is what we call the other losses, which almost constitutes 15 to 20%, which other words is theft or unaccounted for. And I think that arises typically out of governance and compliance. If the government, both at the state and at the center, really want to stop this, they have all the processes and rules and regulations in place. I think they need to wear their heart on their sleeve, think about India, and feel that this energy that is being taken without being paid for, whereas millions and hundreds of millions of households do not have that electricity.
Or paying through their teeth.
Or paying to the teeth. I think we should be able to correct this in a very short time. It's a very political issue, unfortunately, because it involves vote banks, it involves communities that are being given sometimes dole out. But I'm very confident with some changes that I've been seeing in the last 6 months or 1 year, that some basic processes are being put in place, and we are beginning to talk about governance and transparency and using technology for transparency, that we'll see lesser and lesser of these other losses in the next 5, 10, 15 years. This is my belief. But I would like to add one more very quick point here. We use, most of the houses still do not use LED bulbs and LED lights. And I'm very, very disheartened to see that, because LEDs consume 1/3, sometimes 1/4, sometimes half of what the other conventional bulbs are. And they are lasting, their age is 10 times more than the bulb.
Right.
I think that's the first thing we should do, is all of us make a vow and say, you know what, I'm going to switch my lights to LEDs.
Yeah. So at the individual level, cut your own wastage down.
Exactly.
We're going to come back, talk some more with Niraj Sharan. You made the move to India about 7 years ago. You were out west and you decided to make a go of living here. And you have a piece of advice for anyone who is looking to come back to the country. And what are the chances that you'll make a go of, or success of your time back here, is if you're rooted, you say, right?
Yeah, Chris. I mean, I never left India emotionally.
We'll come back, talk some more with Niraj Sharan about that. Stay tuned. Right here, the conversation's happening on Good Morning Delhi, and so is the music. I've got Gotti and Kimbra with that Grammy Award-winning song of theirs, Somebody That I Used to Know.
This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
9:46, and we're getting acquainted with somebody that has been on the show for the last 1 hour. With me in the studio, Niraj Sharan of Aura Incorporated. We've been talking extensively about India's energy requirements, and we've got a long way to go. Are you hopeful, positive?
Absolutely,
good signs?
Chris. Absolutely. I'm very hopeful, and that's one of the reasons I decided to move back fully here in India and run all the global operations sitting here, because I think these are historical times for all of us.
Historical times. So coming back to this question of you returning in 85, you said you've been in Delhi from 85?
Yeah, from 85. I made this as my city, and went to the United States in between for 14 years. Never, as I said, I never left India or Delhi emotionally ever. But I think this decision to be here and do all the operations out of India has been a great one. Very fulfilling.
So it's been a decision that you took with a whole lot of mind and a great deal of heart as well.
Exactly. I mean, without the heart, the mind for a long term does not work.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to measure anyone's life, for that matter, it's about the number of lives you touch or inspire.
Sure.
And I think which other country in the world can give you that opportunity to be able to be part of a nation building at this time and reach out and touch lives, impact, inspire, or do whatever we can. All of us have that capability in us to inspire and do a helping hand. That's what I mean by that.
Speaking of inspire, at Radio 1, we're doing a campaign called Delhi at its Best, where we're trying to hold up all the things that are fantastic about the city, are worth, worth enjoying, loving. And, there's so much of negativity that gets around. But it's really about, what have you been given? You've been given a wonderful, fantastic city. And we don't do enough to elevate it and to raise it up to its full potential. What are the things that you love most about Delhi and you think, that you're proud of?
Chris, Delhi in India map is one word to me because I always say that India is not a country, it's a civilization. So is Delhi. The diversity of Delhi. I mean, which other city in this country has this diversity? That out of the 16 million people we have diverse background from every nook and corner of the country, bringing every kind of professional background, cultural background, all melting in a pot here with the world's, from India perspective, one of the best infrastructure. I don't know, all my Bombay friends complain, all my South Indian friends come and complain, my God, you guys have great parks and great roads and the great place for food, and I can run down the list of food places as well. I think we have a fairly large asset class in this city, both culturally, because we used to have the tehzeeb also before, the Holi and the all this festival tehzeeb that we have, Diwali time that the culture comes out again. I think we just need to be made more aware, and I'm very happy that you just mentioned something that you guys are trying to rekindle that sort of awareness, so that people feel good about and rejoice and celebrate what we have.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited being here, and I think this is a world-class city. It's going to be better and better and better.
All right, you're in the right place and you're listening to the right show.
Absolutely, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Niraj, for coming over. I wish you all the very best with, your future endeavors. And, hopefully we'll see you soon again.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for inviting me over. Thanks a lot.
All right, we got great music coming up for you. Don't go anywhere because Delhi at its best coming up. You're part of this conversation because we make it, we're part of the collective. Coming up on the other side, I got Kings of Leon with Use Somebody.
Like what we do? 94.3. Visit the Radio 1 Delhi Facebook page to be a part of it.
Radio 1.